does compulsory education mean? And why are there so many people now advocating for schooling not being compulsory? Compulsory education seeks to ensure that every person has access to equal opportunities and fully participate in society. In addition, it aims to protect the childhood of boys and girls. But for many people, compulsory education has come to mean that governments are forcing parents to force children to attend to school, even when there are children who are not thriving and they might be even suffering that process. Supporting young people to grow can take many shapes and forms. However, in many places around the world, there is one single option, a single version of how children will develop. Supporting young people to grow can take many shapes and forms. However, in many places around the world, there is a single option, a single version of how we can support children to have a fulfilling life. This usually involves sitting down for 6 hours a day, changing subjects every hour, having specific timings for resting and covering your basic needs, also studying a predefined curriculum in which you haven't had much input, and being constantly evaluated and compared with the rest of your peers. This is obviously not the only way to support children to develop. The abundance of options is huge. There are all sorts of schools and learning communities that work in many different ways. We can have schools that use experiential learning, or some schools that are democratic or self-directed learning centers. But depending on the country, they might be allowed or not. When governments make schooling compulsory, many of these options are taken away from children and their families. We work with many school funders, and we know that one of the main challenges are how to meet all the government requirements when they are not aligned with their philosophy. From a human rights perspective, compulsory is about ensuring that every state provides access to good quality educational options to each and every child for free, not about making compulsory or mandatory a single option.